So you join me here back with another video here in Phillip Island for probably one of the final times really. We've all probably heard the news now that Phillip Island will not be continuing on the Grand Prix circuit, or even top level motorcycle racing in World Superbikes won't be going here. So this is probably one of the final times we get to ride one of these tracks. Of course, this seems to be the last year for, I don't know really the reasons behind not coming here, to be honest, because as you'll find out in today's video, this track, right, probably top 3 in the world cars bike track. There's very few better than this Phillip Island circuit, and I'm about to show you why. From 160 miles an hour here on a 250 two-stroke. This is Simoncelli's 2008 Gilera. I'm basically thought, you know what, this track is all about corner speed and flow. Why not we take one of the most kind of an iconic bike that's always been good for good corner speed, flowing around. A 250 two-stroke just does that. I do miss these bikes. They don't really have, when you look at the Moto2 bikes that we have now, they're very dead and kind of dull in comparison. An old 250 two-stroke. What a piece of kit these are, but yeah, it's a bit of a sad video today really, because Phillip Island, just think of memories and the races and the history of this racetrack, and there is no more now. We're packing up, we're not coming back. There was talks at one point it would be a golf course, which I'm not a golfer, but that would be a terrible idea. To be honest, right, if this turned into a golf course, it would be like something off Wii Sports, right by the coast, big wind. It reminded me of some of the golf course on that, but that was scrapped or maybe rumoured, so it doesn't seem to be coming through. So if the racetrack stays, let's hope they can use it for kind of national level racing and track days and stuff, because I still think there's a lot of people who'd love to travel one day, make the kind of pilgrimage to Phillip Island here in Australia. It's on a small little island right by the coast. You have some serious wildlife, and the racetrack itself is just, like I said, some of the best. That kind of then brings me on to my next point, and that is street circuit. So we've gone from, of course, look, Phillip Island, I'm not going to sit here and say it's #1 top tier safety. It's a real old school track, fast flowing, wide, grass, gravel, what everyone loves. You don't ever hear of a race at Phillip Island that was ruined by track limits, for example, as we go through. It's beautiful Casey's on a corner, about 145 miles an hour. And then we can down into Miller's hairpin. All used to be Honda hairpin back in the day, and rebadged there a couple of years ago to Miller's. But yeah, just street circuits, MotoGP. Words I never thought I'd say, to be honest. It was always kind of like it was always an idea. I was like, no, there's no way they'll ever go to street circuits. Street circuits are far too dangerous. It's just, it was never going to be a thing. But with our new men and women at the top, yeah, it's becoming a reality. Tracks like Adelaide that we'll be going to next year. There were talks of Miami. A lot of these tracks have been used by F1 before, as they are very much in favour of a good old street circuit these days, which are just like, get us besides the point of not being very, shall we say, good for racing or much of a spectacle. They're just not safe. No, the way Liberty Media are thinking of it is that if you could put a race in the middle of Madrid or Barcelona, in the city, or somewhere in the middle of London, we'll say, just to talk about some big capitals, it would be a lot easier than to travel to the likes of Phillip Island here. This obviously is known for being one of the harder races to get to. The Jello up in the Tuscan Hills, you have to go on some pretty steep mountain roads to get to them, and it's not easy to get to, but it's worth it. Aragon's another one, just to name a few. Spa in Belgium, you have to really want to go there. It's not something you get easy. There's very few racetracks that are near airports you fly in and fly out, and I think that's the way Liberty Media wants both F1 and MotoGP to go, is that you can fly in of a Thursday, land, and then be within an hour of the racetrack and kind of watch your city race and have these kind of festival atmospheres and stuff like that. But unfortunately, it's taking away of the DNA of probably both F1 and MotoGP. This video is more about MotoGP, but unfortunately, when we're owned by the same parent company, there's a lot of crossovers of their the blueprint is kind of transferring to both sports, which is unfortunate, because it seems like F1's mistakes now are turning into GP's mistakes, which is unfortunate. Now, they have grown the sport. They have done on the money side, money game, but they have done a lot, and they've gotten a lot of people into it. And for me, you never really think of it, but when you're into something like I am with MotoGP, I've been following it since I was about 4. I'm now 28. That's 24 years. It's never something you think that won't be there for you. You'll always think there'll always be next season. Come November when we end Valencia, there'll always be Qatar in April or March or whenever it be the season. It's kind of like the Champions League or the Premier League or many other championships and leagues. They come around again, and you kind of feel to yourself that it'll never not be there for you. It'll be something that's part of your life. But I must admit, the fact that MotoGP now are looking to be going in a direction that I don't particularly think is the right way, with these street circuits being mentioned and an actual street circuit at Adelaide. I had the thoughts not long ago that, like, how many more years will I be actually watching this sport? And even now, a lot of the decisions of the direction of sport in currently right now with the current regulations, the bikes, just sprint races, a lot of it's changed over the last couple of years, and to be honest, none of it I think is for the better. I think probably to get new people involved in sport, it's probably done that, and it's definitely probably helping with the younger generation. But I think even, I'm not obviously that old yet, thankfully, but the older generation, probably 30 to 50, that kind of generation that are probably around since the Schwantz, the Rainies, that era, and are older than me again. I think they probably have absolutely no interest in what this sport is turning into, because they're going to less and less interesting racetracks. They seem to be going to places like Balloton Park, which is clearly money-driven decisions, and now we look to be going to Adelaide, which is going to be a street circuit. And back in the day in the F1, it was a great street circuit, but bloody hell, it's not fucking Phillip Island, is it? Like, look at this. Grass everywhere. 200 miles an hour plus on a GP bike, but 215, 20 miles an hour on a GP bike into turn 1. Go through turn 1, Dunes, Gardner. It's just like, this is history, and the fact we're losing this is it's a crying shame, really. It really is. There's not a way to put it. The fact we don't get to see the best in the business on the best bikes in the world go to the best racetracks, which Phillip Island is one of those. It's just, it makes you wonder, is MotoGP premier class of MotoGP or motorcycles anymore, if it's going to change its actual roots? It was always about bringing the best of the best. Your Rossies on the best bikes in the world, the Mugello, Phillip Island, tracks like that, Marquez. It's all about the best riders in the world, your Schwanches, your Dunes back in the day, and so on and so forth. But start to look now, like, if we're going to street circuits, that DNA is really starting to change and twist, and I'm very interested to hear a lot of your guys' feedback. Let me know in the comments, really, just overall what you think of what could happen in the next 5 to 10 years of the sport. Because I know I do have quite a big audience who are probably a lot older than me. Like I said, I'm late 20s. I know for a fact from my analytics there's a lot of people who are nearly double my age who watch my videos, so I'll be very interested to hear your sort of idea, because you've been watching sport a lot longer than me, and you're probably around for maybe some of the Kenny Roberts, Sheen, that era, like, and look what we have now. And like, it always moves forward and always changes, and up until probably COVID times, I would have said the sport was in great condition, because when Michelin came in 2016, we went to the standard Magnelli, Morelli, ECU. We got some very good years there of racing. It wasn't dominated by one bike, but it was by one rider in the end, really, with Mark. But there were some good races. Rossi was winning. Lorenzo was able to win a couple of races, and there was plenty of different storylines where you start to wonder what was street circuits and 850s and the aero race and all. I know we're kind of trying to cut back in that, but as they always say, once the genie's out of the box, it's quite difficult, near impossible to get it back in. So yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts on it, really. Whoa, these 250s are very nimble, which makes them pointy, but also that makes them very nervous because they are so light and they are quite powerful. But if you're not on the ball with them, they will bite you. So yeah, Phillip Island, just like, I think it was a 1998 250 race between the two Tech 3 Yamahas. Might have the wrong year. Olivier Jacques and can't remember his teammate now, but the race that most of you will know that I'm on about was split by hairs across the finish line. You had Yagi, like, to speak how highly this track is speaking of. If you read Valentino's autobiography, it literally, the opening paragraph speaks of this little sector here, coming over Lucky Heights down into MG in the race for his first world title in Grand Prix class in the 500 in 2001. Just that race. There was the 2004 race. There was 2003 where he got the 15-second penalty. The whole, there's just so many, like, the races in Superbikes we've had. I think the Moto 3 races, the Moto 2, 1 to 5, 250 races. There's just so much history to this place, so it's a damn shame, really, that this track here in Phillip Island will be no more. But anyway, guys, I've rambled on for long enough. I hope you have enjoyed. Let me know your own thoughts in the comments. I am always really eager to hear the thoughts of my viewers, as we are very like-minded people usually, so it'll be interesting to see what you think. Adelaide, street circuits, are we doomed? Will it be good? Will it be bad? What is the future of GP hold for us? Yeah, thank you guys. Have a great Sunday or Monday, depending when this goes up. And yeah, we should be back on track soon with something else. Bye for now. Slán go fóill.